Welcome guys to my next video of creative effects. I promised you that we are going to do a bit of some entries on my next video. So I wanted to show you some of the things that I was actually showing the students a few hours ago on the market, and they actually appeared very well. So if whether you're an intraday trader or you are a swing trader, this is something that you actually need to take note of. So normally on our entries, we actually use non-indicator entries and also indicator entries. So I'm going to show you just one of the entries that actually appeared today. It was actually largely distributed on most pairs in the market. So as you can see, this pair we are dealing with here is GBP JPY. So looking at this, remember I told you that this is our Asian session. The blue post is our Asian session. You can see how high the pair is actually flying. And remember what I told you. If you remember very well, I said most of our HODs and LODs, they appear at ADR low or ADR high, depending with the direction of the pair. As you can see, GBP JPY, the LOD actually appeared at ADR low, and also it appeared at yesterday's low. So we actually have got two confirmations, ADR low and yesterday's low, to confirm that this is our LOD. And also, as you can see, we have got a confirmation candles there actually are showing us the direction of our pair and also the number of legs in our pair. Remember, we said that we only entered the second leg and we actually showed the second leg. So this is the type 1 because this is our Asian session, and this is the low of our Asian session and the high of our Asian session. You can see that the dealer actually broke the low of the Asian session. We broke the low of the Asian session and actually went down. So he actually had a London type 1 pattern, and you can see how aggressively they moved during the New York session. So we're actually discussing with the other students on this pair. So the entry that I wanted to actually show you is, let's say you want to make a trade or you want to mark your chart so that you can trade very well. This is what you have to do. Come to your TDI and you check where is the end of your Asian session. So if your Asian session ends here, so definitely your Asian session will also end this side. So it means everything that is actually on this side is of the Asian session. So since we pay little attention to the Asian session, this then means that we look at what happens after the Asian session. You can see the volatility bands were opening wide to show us that there is a very large movement that is going to happen. And volatility bands opened wide even before the pair started moving. The pair started moving here, which was actually there. And one of the things that I actually always teach my students, which is also our signature trade and entry, is that when a pair gives you 3 legs, whether they are descending or ascending, or it's a head and shoulder type of a leg, or it's a 22 trade. Remember, a 22 trade, those are 3 hits to the low. So if a trade gives you 3 legs like this, the first leg will be outside the volatility bands. The first leg will be outside the volatility bands, and we normally call that a shark fin. The first leg will be outside the volatility bands, and we normally call that a shark fin. And also, the second leg will be within the volatility bands. The second leg will be within the volatility bands. All right, the second leg will be within the volatility bands. So we enter normally at the third leg because the third leg normally becomes an MPL bounce. The third leg normally becomes an MPL bounce. The MPL bounce is the market baseline, the yellow line that you see right beneath here. So normally the dealer will bounce on the MPL bounce and then he takes off on the third leg. So that's normally where we actually enter. You realize that sometimes that MPL bounce is the lowest point of the chart, or sometimes it's actually equal. Like you see from the chart there, it's more or less equal. But on the TDI, it's actually actually the top point, as you can see, right there. But on the chart, it's not the top point. So we always advise each other with the students that we wait for this third leg, which is an MPL bounce. You can see it actually appeared on GBP JPY. I actually showed them while the pair was right here. So everyone who took it actually took it up to that point right there. So this is another type of setup that actually appeared today, and they actually profited from it. And also, we saw a more or similar example appearing again on GBP USD today. Actually appeared in GBP USD. You can see for yourself. Actually, it's also a type 1, with also 1, 2, 3 legs appearing also at yesterday's low and 8-year low. So if the dealer was actually stop hunting low, you could see for yourself that so the LOD will actually appear at yesterday's low or 8-year low. So that's where you could actually even set a buy limit if you were scared to enter. To execute the market instantly. You can see GBP JPY, and there's also a similar pattern if you open your TDI. Similar pattern if you open your TDI. The first leg became a sharp fin, as you can see right here, and the second leg actually was within the bands, the volatility bands, and the third leg was an MBO bounce. So that's where we're supposed to check it at the MBO bounce to prove that the market is actually going up. So these are signature entries that we actually use. It's actually one of the simplest entries that we actually use in our trading. Now on USD CAD, you can see for yourself that normally when this activity, remember I said this activity is of the Asian session, so we don't pay much attention to it. Normally, as long as the price line is above the MBA line, as long as the price line is still above the MBA line, we don't pay attention to price. We wait until the price line is below or it's just about to cross the MBA line. As you can see right here, the first leg is actually shorter, but on this side it is a sharp fin. The second leg becomes the head because this is now a head and shoulder, but the second leg is within the bands, it's not outside the bands. And the third leg, which is actually the right shoulder, it appears below the market baseline. It's actually bouncing on the market baseline, so that's why you could have taken it right there and then you took it down. So that's basically what you actually could have done. I will show you the results of this trade on Telegram. All right. And ODJPY, I had not yet checked ODJPY, but I believe it had also a similar pattern. You can see ODJPY also had a more similar pattern that looked like a head and shoulder. This was our sharp fin, which was the first leg, the second leg within the market, the boundary, and the third leg bouncing on the market baseline. That was the third leg. That's why you could have taken your trade and went away with it, unless you could take it from the second leg. So normally I advise people to take the trade either at the second leg or the third leg. It depends with your strength of your emotions. So it depends with the strength of your emotions. And also we had ODUSD. ODUSD also had a type 1 of a London pattern because it broke the low of the Asian session. You can see right there, the first shoulder became the first leg, the second leg within the boundaries, and the third leg was actually a market baseline. And this one appeared at yesterday's low, but it didn't appear at 8-year low. It actually appeared at yesterday's low. So this was one of the hints that would actually show you where exactly your trade will actually appear. You can see as for ODJPY, it actually appeared at 200 EMA. So those are one of the keys that I always tell people, that how do you know, or where do you know where your LOD or your HOD is going to appear? Your LOD or HOD is going to appear at 200 EMA. It's also going to appear at the crossover like this of 200 and 800. It's also going to appear at 8-year low or high, and it's also going to appear at yesterday's high or low, So those are some of the guidelines that can actually assist you to know where exactly your LOD is going to appear. So the only thing that you need to do, like I always say, is to actually wait in the market. Do not force the market and do not pressurize yourself. Wait for the market to come to you. Wait for the market to give you the type of trade. Wait for the market to give you the type of pattern before you execute. So those are the things that you actually need to do. So looking at the 1-hour chart, if I turn to the 1-hour chart, you can see for yourself this was a good move. Actually, are pushing to the upside, and they are not yet at the 8-year high, so they will still move a bit more. You can see ODJPY right here, it's also moving high, but USD CAD has actually hit the 8-year low, so it has hit the 8-year low. We can still expect more movement, but not the much movement, more than the movement that we could have expected from if the 8-year low was actually away. You can see right here, GBP USD has just hit the 8-year high. So it means that maybe we can have a consolidation or a push again, but a very small push, then a consolidation. Then we can expect maybe a safety trade tomorrow if the dealer looks the peak. All right, remember what I said, that we've got 4 types of trades. We have the peak trades, we have the resets, we have the IT50, and we also have the safety trade. You can see this is GBP JPY. It actually moved and crossed 200 EMA. Now it's going to pull back a little bit, and it has already crossed. It has already locked the peak. I think from the way I'm seeing it, it's actually locking the peak there. So it means tomorrow we can expect more or less of a safety trade. We can expect something like this, and then we continue going up. So that's exactly a type of trade that we can expect tomorrow. So thank you very much, guys, for your patience, and thank you very much for listening to me. Cheers. Have a good trading week.